first things first, you got to slow down and notice. I'm about to head to the airport right now. We're going to Niseko. It's me, another buddy, and Daniel Dalen. Got 10 days of snowboarding in the epic Japan powder. This is kind of part of an annual retreat I do every year for about 3 weeks to Japan on what I call a soul trip, a chance to rejuvenate my nervous system, to reconnect with nature, and overall to relax. Now, on the subject of nature, right, I think it's important, right, to slow down and notice. When you're out there in the mountains or you're in a national park, you get a chance to slow down, to hike, to connect with friends, to laugh, and to connect with really who you are at a more soul level. You know, when you finally give your nervous system a chance to downregulate, you give yourself space, right? And that space allows you room for what's really going on inside to start coming up. And it leads to truth, right? For me, I know time in nature has helped me discover the kind of things that I think I was put on earth to do. Things like helping founders with systems, going and viewing entrepreneurship as a soulful journey, building amazing teams, building brands for the next 100 years, not just the next year, and focusing on craftsmanship, on mastery, on beauty. And so, you know, when you finally give yourself a space to go away, I think you also focus on the real things in life, right? You can get so stuck in performing all the time that you don't give yourself time to just play. Oh, such an epic day of snowboarding today. Met an absolute legend named Ollie on one of the lifts, a 60-year-old. I asked him, what is one of your biggest lessons of your career? Because he's newly retired. He told me, he goes, Matt, sweat the details. Then Ollie asked me, he goes, Matt, you know, what's one of your biggest career lessons? And I would say that it's the importance of really having a massive mission. It's not only incredibly motivating, obviously, for me to jump out of bed every morning. You know, Founder OS and what I'm building, that mission is really to help 100 million founders accomplish their dreams through proven systems. You know, I've learned that it's important to really find that in anything that I do, because what's the fun in just going the easy route? What's the fun in just playing it safe? What's the fun in just being normal or ordinary when you have the opportunity to be so much more? I think there's an art to creating that resonance with people. And when you find it with a massive mission, I think your ability to mobilize your own team of weapons, your own team of Avengers, becomes so much more easier, and you unlock a whole new level of fun. At this stage of my career, at 36, one of the most important things is just making something people want. Now, I feel really inspired these days by what we're building, but that wasn't by accident. You know, it was much intentionally created, and it was done by really thinking about criteria. I started thinking about, well, what would it be like for me to look at myself more like an investor versus just an entrepreneur? And so I then came up with some criteria that were really important to me upon reflection. I remember taking out a journal about 8 years ago and intentionally writing down, like, what is it that's really important to me? And the kind of things that came up for me were that I must go do work every day that feels like play. The kind of stuff that most people would feel is work, to me, would just feel fun. The second thing was that I had to love the customer, right? I wanted to love the kind of people I was helping. Founders, when I reflected on it, are like my favorite people. All my friends are founders for the most part. The kind of people I find myself in my spare time just chopping it up with are founders. And so that felt like something I should really lean into. The third thing was to love the problem. Make sure that what I was building was something that I genuinely loved, right? And that the problem and the solving of that thing over decades would be something that would continually fire me up. The fourth aspect is that there's founder product fit, meaning that what I was building really just fit my own strengths and desires and quirks like a glove. Really going and helping founders. I love building systems for every aspect of my life, and I want to help founders avoid the kind of struggle that I went through in the first 6-7 years of building companies. And the next criteria was then just being able to work with unbelievable people, because at the end of the day, that's the funnest part of building, right? Is being surrounded with fellow creators, builders, dreamers that all are united and passionate. So I share this with you really because honestly, this would have saved me like a decade of my career. I picked some kind of poor opportunities at times, things that I probably shouldn't even wasted 6 months on, right? That I could have avoided if I had been more aware of what was important to me. And I think more important than just being aware of it is giving myself permission to say no, and having the bravery and the courage to do something or pick a direction in life, even when I didn't know if it was going to work out, but I did know that it innately was motivating to me and was something that I was excited by. I think the final thing I reflect on here is just basically to keep on leaning into that 10-year-old version of yourself and what they want to do. I try to remind myself of this as much as possible, but it's tricky, Sometimes we make business feel like work. We make life feel hard, and it doesn't need to be, right? It can be fun. It can be enjoyable. It can be something that lights us up. I've been practicing more recently something when I feel an inner sense of like anger or rage, which comes up, right? And I've been practicing the words and the language that I use with myself. Instead of going and saying, oh my God, I'm so mad, or this is such bullshit, or whatever, I tell myself, oh, this is mildly annoying. And it almost sometimes even makes me kind of giggle a little bit, versus getting super worked up over something that, I can't control, or something that happened to me. Just tell myself, oh, it's mildly annoying. And then just kind of shrug it off. Because I know that the 10-year-old version of myself, the number one thing I was into was play. What would the 10-year-old version of yourself be proud of building? Forget status, forget money, forget society's expectations of what you should be doing. What does that kid in you want to do? What are you curious about? And what feels like play? Somewhere along the journey of life, we abandon that version of ourselves. We don't do it intentionally. It just sort of happens. But that kid in you is still in there. What would make them feel most inspired? What would your life look like if you prioritize what brings you joy? I don't think it always feels obvious, but with a bit of space, you can tap into something special. And doing it for this version of yourself isn't some stupid exercise. It might just be the most important thing you do this year. It means prioritizing exploration and meaning, because at the end of your life, all the numbers fade, and the 10-year-old version of yourself is the only audience that really matters. All right, if you enjoyed this video, hopefully it was helpful, you can go and watch this next video, which is you'd be richer if you just relaxed. And I dive into some ways to chill out, let go of the grip, and along the way, actually be more successful. So go and check that one out. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and welcome to the founder freedom movement.
Okay, this is Matt's new toy from Kieran.
So it goes backwards and you
That's neat, Matt, eh? Wow, Matthew, that's a pretty special one. Now let's see, who's left in here?